Hello everyone, it's Noble up on your screens again, and today we are not going to make any cocktail here. We are only going to talk about this amazing tools right in front of me. It's actually my first time trying to shoot during the daytime and experience how it feels like. So yes, of course, I'm happy and I hope you love it too. So um, let's start. The first cocktail tool to talk about is the shaker. All right, we have three type of cocktail shakers. We have the Boston shaker, we have the cobbler shaker, and we have the French or the Parisian shaker. The first early cocktails were in the form of the Boston shaker, right? So over here with me, I have this tin to tin, and I have another glass. All right, so this is a Boston shaker. So the Boston shaker is basically like a tin to tin or a tin to glass, like what I have over here. What the shaker does is it allows you to quickly mix ingredients together, and while mixing it together, like you also chill it at the same time. You get it? The first cocktail shaker was mentioned about 700 BC by Hernando Cortes. So it's still unknown who invented the Boston shaker and when it was also invented, but I think this happened in the late 800s or mid 800s. The Boston shaker is common in busy bars because multiple cocktails can be made. Like you see, this is bigger, this is small, and depending on whatever cocktail you are making, you can make at least maybe a maximum of 5, 6. The cobbler shaker. This type of shaker has three metal pieces. It has the tin, it has the lid, and it has like a cover. It also includes an inbuilt strainer, and unlike the Boston shaker where you have to open and then get a strainer, this one is not like that. This one is inbuilt, everything is in there. You just have to take the lid off and then just straight out. This particular one, you can't find it in busy bars because with my experience I have, and most of my bartenders that I know, like when you use this kind of shaker, you really have to stress. You go to stress after shaking your cocktail. Opening the cover or the lid becomes a problem. So you cannot use this when you are working in a very busy bar. Okay, so the Boston shaker is the best to use when like your bar is very busy, because when you just hit it, it opens. This very one is unlike that. It's stress, but it's cute also. This cobbler shaker was invented by Edward Howe, and it is believed that the name behind the cobbler shaker was inspired by a cocktail called the cherry cobbler. And this was a very famous 19th century cocktail which was needed to be shaken and then strained. The French shaker or the Parisian shaker. This also has two pieces just like the Boston shaker, but it has the design of the cobbler shaker, but no inbuilt strainer. All right, it has only two pieces, and I think this is also easy to use, I think. And it's really common in the European countries, very very common in the European countries. I have used it before, and compared to the Boston shaker, the Boston is still my best anyway. It is still unknown how old this shaker is exactly, but it was first mentioned in the very early 1800s. The mixing glass, all right? So this tool is used together with a strainer and a bar spoon in a cocktail preparation in a stir and strain technique. So at this point, nothing is going to be shaken, all right? No shaking. All we need to do is to put everything in the mixing glass, use the bar spoon to stir for a few seconds, and then we transfer that into a different glass by using the strainer. So it means we are not transferring the ice, we are adding just the liquid. That's all we need. So the idea is not diluting the drink, is to cooling the drink. All right, most of the bartenders get this wrong by over stirring, and then they end up messing up the drink for the customer. In the early beginning of mixology, like I mentioned earlier, right? This and that was really used, And because there were no particular tool to use for mixing cocktails, this was what people were using back then. And you know, it was just like this, but very fragile. The challenge back then was that when you pick up the bar spoon and then you are mixing all these things together, some of these bartenders end up chipping the glass and this goes straight into the cocktail. And it's a bad idea, right? So due to that, the yarai was introduced. So the yarai is the mixing glass we use today, and this is a Japanese word, and the yarai is the pattern you see, all right? You see around the glass. So this is the yarai mixing glass. It is made with a traditional Japanese yarai weave pattern. So what you see around this is actually a Japanese design. The yarai mixing glass has a lip, it has a wider mouth, and a wider base for fast stirring, and it's very smooth. And the interesting thing is that it's very strong, it's very thick, like unlike what they used to have back then in the days, you know. This is like perfecto. Over here with me I have the mixing tin. I mean, this is a very new one in the market, and because I don't want to break anything, all right, I don't want to break or chip anything, and this one has no lip. All right, it only has the mouth is wide, and the base is also okay. So at least you can have 2 or more cocktails mixed in here. All right. So if you don't want to be like me, chipping or cracking things, go for this. Super helpful. The bar spoon. So we actually have 3 types of bar spoons. We have the American bar spoon, we have the European bar spoon, and we have the Japanese bar spoon. The bar spoon is used for mixing and laying of both non-alcoholic and alcoholic drinks. So other names for this tool is the mixing spoon, cocktail stirrer, bar spoon, you know. Yeah. I know there's this spiral design around it, and the reason why it's also there is basically to help the stirring smoother and faster, all right? You know, the usual spoons that we know are like flats to flats, all right? They are flats to flats, and you can use that in mixing cocktails, all right? So this is the perfect. Whoever did this did an amazing job, trust me, because yo, look, like that. Oh wait, let me just use this and then fix that, and then we go. It's just so smooth, all right? Very smooth, and it's moving everything in there, all right? But yeah, there's nothing at the moment. The spoon is thought to have originated from France, and it is named after Algeria when the French army won victory in 1844.